is me, Terrible. This is a review of your hot takes and predictions from the previous week, as well as quick game review of the Sunday night game. We still have two more to play this week on Monday. But yeah, like I said, the Chiefs-Falcons was the Sunday night game, and this was a pretty good one. Chiefs ended up taking it 22-17. Falcons are now 1-2. Chiefs are still undefeated. This one was a bit surprising. Once again, it felt like the Chiefs were gonna lose. And then they did not. They did not let that happen. But the Falcons off to a good start. Had a nice drive. Drake London, TD pass. Boom. They're off to the races, but Chiefs able to get some points on the board second quarter. Rashee Rice caught a 13-yard touchdown pass from Mahomes. But Falcons, they come right back. Bijan Robinson ran one in. And before the end of the half, Chiefs, just under 3 minutes, they grab a field goal. End up with the ball again. They get another field goal. So just like that, 14-7 turns into 14-13. We got a close game at halftime. And in the third, Chiefs, they start with the ball. Have a nice little drive. Harrison Butker gets him 3. So they got the lead 16-14. And later in the quarter, another good drive from the Chiefs. Juju Smith-Schuster. Yes, he swindled the Pats, and now he's back with the Chiefs. He gets a touchdown. They missed the extra point. So it's actually 8-point game at that point. So it's like, all right, Falcons, it's not over. It's not over. But it was. Younghoe Koo did it a 54-yarder, which cut it to 5, but that's just not enough. That's just not enough, and Chiefs were able to hold them off in the fourth, and another tough loss for the Falcons. It's crazy. The Falcons are so close to being 0-3, but they had a nice comeback win against the Eagles to keep them at 1-2 last week, but yeah, they at least looked a bit better in this one. Kirk Cousins, 20 for 29, 230 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Bijan Robinson, 16 carries for 31 yards. That's pretty rough. Did have the 1 touchdown though, so that's not bad. Drake London, 6 catches, 67 yards, and a TD. Darnell Mooney, he's been pretty solid for them. 8 catches, 66 yards. Kyle Pitts had that big 50-yard catch, but only ended up with 2 for 59. But yeah, the Chiefs, on the other hand, Patrick Mahomes, 26 for 39, 217 yards, 2 TDs, 1 pick. Pretty good as well. Carson Steele was the guy. No Pacheco, no Edwards-Helaire, I guess. Carson Steele and P. Ryan. Those are the guys doing it. But Carson, he ended up with 72 yards. So I guess that's not too bad. 17 carries, 72 yards, not too bad. In terms of receiving, Rashee Rice, what a day. What a day for him. Crazy. 12 catches, 110 yards, 1 touchdown. I think he got banged up at one point, but he came back in. Travis Kelce, 4 catches, 30 yards. The sad thing is, for this year, that's a pretty good game for him. Unfortunately for the Chiefs fans, but no, he's been fine. And Juju, 2 catches, 17 yards, 1 touchdown. So, yeah, a lot of good stuff going on for the Chiefs. They're very lucky, all right? They're very lucky that everybody jokes against them, and they get help from the refs, but I don't want to talk about it. Now it's time to look at your predictions from the last week. Alright, here we go. Starting with the first one. We don't have too many this week, but now that we're putting this video out there, we will certainly have more for next week. Remember, it's each week's preview video, so on Wednesday or Thursday when this preview video drops for week 4, that is where you leave your hot takes, your predictions, whatever it is you have for the week. So starting off right here, it's about the Cowboys Ravens game. Oh, actually have them right here. We got the helmets. Here they are. Yes, Cowboys need a bounce back week 3 with Ravens. Yeah, that didn't happen. The Ravens destroyed them. They destroyed them. The Cowboys cannot stop the run. They have serious issues there. They got ran all over last week. They got ran all over this week. Derrick Henry was feasting. He was absolutely feasting. So Cowboys have a serious problem with stopping the run. So only week 3, but we'll see if they can maybe figure something out there. But they're getting run all over. It's getting rough. The Saints, I hope, can at least keep this monster streak going to beat the Eagles and Chiefs. Ooh, the streak. The streak is ended. The streak is over. Unfortunately, lost to the Eagles. Probably should have won too. It was a good game. It was a close one. But they're 2-1 now, and they got the Chiefs next week, I guess. So they very well may be 2-2 after 4 weeks, and we'll just be like, oh well, those first 2 weeks they were a fluke. They played the Panthers and the Cowboys, which, as we can see, their defense is not good right now. They're not good. So could be a rough year for the Saints. I think 4-13 is back on the menu for sure. Here's one. This is talking about Justin Fields. I probably talked about him in the video, and this guy's pretty much like, hey, Justin Fields, he hasn't done anything wrong all year. No turnovers, and even in the game, he could have had 2 more touchdowns that got called back. And he says, I think Justin will continue to start until it's him that is the problem on offense. And once again, another pretty solid week. Steelers get the job done. I don't know how they do it. They have quite the organization there. They certainly do. But yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy stuff. Justin Fields is actually winning 3-0 now. I think it's like first time he's won 3 in a row or something like that. But this one is interesting. Bengals might be the most overrated team the past 3 years. They have yet to improve since Super Bowl season and are given a lot of excuses. I actually completely disagree with this. If you go back 3 years, they were able to make it to the Super Bowl, which is pretty impressive, one might say. They lost to the Rams. That Rams team was very stacked. Cooper Kupp and Matt Stafford had a great year. Aaron Donald is amazing. And they lost. So for them to improve from losing in the Super Bowl, logic would tell you that you would have to win the Super Bowl the next year. That's the only way you can improve. Unfortunately, it doesn't quite work like that. Next year, they made it to the AFC Championship and lost to the Chiefs in a close one, and they eventually went on to win it. I would not say that team that made the AFC Championship and lost is overrated. I wouldn't do it. And then last year, you have Joe Burrow go down. The season completely collapses. They missed the playoffs, mainly because their star QB got injured. So I just don't know how they're overrated and given a lot of excuses. I think the QB going down is usually a valid excuse. But tell me that even without the excuse, say you just go by the finish like last year. Okay, they missed the playoffs. They were what? Did they get to 9-8 or something? So say in a 3-year window, they made the Super Bowl, made the AFC Championship, and missed the playoffs. How many teams in this league would trade their last 3 years for those 3 years? So that's all I have for that part, at least. This one is 49ers run the league. Purdy stays elite. Half of this is correct. The Niners are not running the league. They're actually struggling a little bit right now. They do have a bunch of injuries, so can't really blame them. But Juwan Jennings had a monster game. And Purdy, yeah, he was pretty good. I think it was something like 8 incompletions. 6 of them were drops. So, yeah, Brock Purdy the league. Next one. Chargers at Steelers. Will be a good matchup between TJ Watt, Joe Alt. As we know, Steelers took this one, ended up being 20-10. And I don't know how the matchup was for the entire game, but I do remember seeing a clip of TJ Watt going right past Joe Alt and getting a sack, so I don't think Joe Alt's been as good as he's been. He did have to go against TJ Watt. A lot of guys don't do well against TJ Watt, so I think he's going to get the rookie pass on this one. But he's going to be fine. He's still a good player. TJ Watt's been pretty good this year. He's been pretty good for sure. Next one. We'll be at the game to see Hunter Henry masterclass. Pats-Jets was a disaster of the game for the Pats. They looked terrible. Hunter Henry, I think he might have had like one catch. I don't think he had much of a masterclass, but the entire offense was pretty bad. The O-line was bad. Jacoby Brissett was not great. The Jets look good. Jets look very solid with Aaron Rodgers at the helm. And sorry to disappoint you, but Hunter Henry was the disappointment, alright? He was the real disappointment, because the Pats did not play very well in that one, that's for sure. 49ers are crushing the Rams. Just hope it isn't too boring. Thanks for playing. Talking about the Giants O-line, I think I kind of trashed them in the one video. And, his comments like, hey, they're top 8 right now, pass protection, 14th in rushing, or I guess yards per carry. So the O-line, hasn't been as bad as it's been in recent years, especially last year. So, and this is, talking about the week before, if they had a kicker, they probably would have won that one. And hey, look at them. Malik Neighbors looks really good. He's helping Daniel Jones not look so bad. And, the Browns offense is terrible, but their defense is solid, and Giants were able to put up some good points and get the job done, get a nice win. So, gotta say, it's pretty good stuff for the Giants. I can't believe they're doing as well as they are so far. Even though they're not even doing that well, they don't look as bad as you might have thought. Everything that could have went well for them has started to go well. So, with that being said, that's going to be it for this one.